Let's talk for a minute about the primary. Obviously, before you can face Senator Lincoln, you got to get through the Republican primary. We've got a crowded field.
More crowded every day.
7 candidates in it. May have a couple more joining it soon. What distinguishes you from the other candidates?
Great question. And let me just say, I'm thrilled that all these folks are running. It shows two things. It shows that folks are fired up, wanting to make a difference in the process. The only way democracy goes away, the only way democracy fails is if folks sit home and are not involved. We need folks in the media. We need folks writing checks. We need folks putting yard signs out. And we got to have some candidates. We got some candidates in the U.S. Senate race. It's a positive thing. It's a good thing. What distinguishes me? Look, everybody brings their own perspective, their own strengths and weaknesses to this race. I say the two things that I bring to the race, and it's really not so much me as it is what folks have helped me do. And it's really other people that have gotten behind me over the years, specifically in 2008 as I faced a very difficult re-election campaign. I served Faulkner County, greatest place around, love it. But it's a swing district. I'm the first Republican to ever represent this Senate district. And it was a difficult re-election race in 2008. Everybody from Bill Clinton to Governor Beebe on down came after me. And when the dust settled, because so many people got behind me, got behind my conservative message, we won. So, I've been through a race where I faced the Democrat establishment. I think I bring that to this U.S. Senate race. I mean, this is going to be a difficult thing. I mean, Blanche Lincoln is not just going to throw in the towel and go away after the primary. It's going to be a difficult race, and I've experienced one of those recently. Secondly, I am determined that our conservative message has enough resource behind it to get that message out. It's one thing to have a conservative view of the world, but if you don't buy some TV ads and do some mailers and get out there in the newspaper and take advantage of all the social media opportunities, and the conservative message is not going to get a hearing. I'm committed that conservative message get a hearing, and that requires money. And I'm not a bit ashamed that I'm going to go out and raise as many dollars as I can to make sure the conservative message gets a hearing, because in Arkansas, if the conservative message gets a hearing, it wins. And so in the first 2.5 months, we've raised almost $700,000. And so those are the two things I bring to the race.
Sure.
A passion for the conservative message that's willing to raise the money to get behind that message, and the fact that I beat the establishment. Again, other people helped me beat the establishment in 2008.
And that actually touches on the next question I have for you. It's, when you get into a Republican primary, you almost get into one of these battles that I call who's the most conservative, and people are kind of almost elbowing each other to get as far as they can to the right. Talk about what makes you a conservative, and what are some of your core conservative principles?
Yeah, I just believe that government's not the answer. Bottom line, foundational government's not the answer. Now look, government's got a role in our society. I mean, somebody's got to build the roads and take care of services. So I'm not one of these guys that says government's just got to disappear. I mean, there's a pragmatism there that government has a role, but it's the balance. It's the old Reagan principle that there's a balance here of making sure government, stays within its means. Government has a role to protect the unborn. Government has a role there, okay? And I'm for that. That's why I was the candidate that was endorsed by Arkansas Right to Life in 2008. We've got a Constitution that talks about the Second Amendment. That's why I got the endorsement of the NRA in the A+ rating in the 2008 race, and they are very shrewd who they endorse, who they get behind. But then you get to fiscal matters. We've had a lot of issues that have come before the Arkansas legislature. Remember, in the Arkansas legislature, we work within a very tight, balanced budget. And again, I'm thrilled that the budgets I voted for, the budgets I presided over as co-chair of the Budget Committee, have been balanced budgets. I was thrilled to say no to the income tax surcharge a few years back. Folks said we need that no income tax surcharge. Absolutely not. I've been thrilled with the other opportunities I've had to vote against, taxes. The 2003 education tax, Governor Huckabee was governor in a special session trying to get ourselves out of court. The federal government was about to take over our court system. I really do believe that. It was in the state Supreme Court. They said we were unconstitutional. I would have, in hindsight, I wish we could have cut, the budget and tried to find some money to take care of the education need. But at that time, that really wasn't an option before us. And so I supported, Governor Huckabee's proposal to bring more money into the education system to get us out of court. The good news is the system's out of court. So government has a very limited role to play, and that's why I've signed on to the no tax pledge, moving forward, and why I'm absolutely committed to a balanced budget at the federal level. I've seen it work at the Arkansas level.
Great. Well, we appreciate your time today. We're certainly going to be watching your race. I know it's going to be one of the big ones that's going on next year. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
And you say it's going to be one of the big ones. I'd really be interested in being involved in a race that's not one of the big ones. In 2008, my state Senate race in Faulkner County was the highlight race in the state because, the presidential race was off the map early on. Mark Pryor didn't have opposition. So, kind of been there and done that. But it is a positive. And I'm going to commit, and I commit right now, and I wish the other Republicans would, and I hope I believe they will, let me say that the day the primary is over, that we all rally behind the nominee. That's very, very important. And then secondly, the focus has to be on Senator Lincoln. Okay, it is her seat that she needs to be replaced with a conservative, and there's an opportunity to do that. So my focus is going to stay.